7. Barrett outside, the switch. Doncic goes, oh, what a great step! And then he hammers it home! Broke his ankles!
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. I hope you guys are doing well. It is freaking game day today as the New York Knicks are going to be taking on the Orlando Magic at 7 p.m. Eastern time, our very first road game. This game's actually in Orlando, so a lot of traveling there, pretty long plane ride, I bet, going from New York, going to Orlando, really feeling out that weather there because it's starting to get a little chilly here. I live in New Jersey, but I bet it's starting to get a little chilly in New York. It was pretty warm for a long time. But anyway, I'm getting off topic, and I know a lot of Knicks fans are going to be like, we have to destroy this Magic team by 20 or 30 points. And I would love that. We can't be greedy, and we can't underestimate the Orlando Magic. I'm not saying the Magic are solid. I'm not saying they're good at all. You could say it's too early to tell, but at the end of the day, right now, they are in a rebuild. Brand new coach of Jamal Mosley came from the Rick Carlisle coaching tree over there, and he actually got a W versus the New York Knicks when Rick Carlisle was out with the virus. So he actually ended up beating us, and it was on my birthday, which freaking sucked. I thought we were going to win that game. The Mavericks took over, Porzingis, Luke, and all that. Let's not talk about that right now. But they're a young team. They're going to make mistakes. They're going to turn over the ball. There's going to be communication issues. They're just extremely young, very inexperienced out there on the court. They took Jalen Suggs and Franz Wagner in this past draft, and his brother Mo Wagner is actually on the team as well, which is pretty crazy. But yes, again, I would love for us to win by a lot of teams. It's cliche to say this, but they're an NBA team. They got talent. They're young. If we give them any sort of momentum at the beginning of this game at home, they're young, they're energized. They're just really going to try to feed off that crowd. But they got destroyed by the San Antonio Spurs, which also, they're a young team as well. DeJounte Murray, well, he's kind of young. He's not crazy young, but you have Lonnie Walker over there. You have a Keldon Johnson. Josh Primo didn't play much, but they're a pretty young, inexperienced team. They lost DeMar DeRozan. A lot of people aren't expecting them to go to the playoffs. But the Magic, their state of mind right now is straight up rebuild, and I thought this was the perfect move by the Magic. I thought they were stuck in mediocrity, paying guys that I didn't think were good enough to help them win a championship one day down the road, or at least compete for one. They went on to select Mo Bamba in the 2018 NBA draft with a top 10 pick, a lottery pick, which made no sense because they knew he was a project, or at least I hope so. I hope they knew that at the time. They had Vucevic, who was their best player on the team, that happened to play the same position, unless Steve Clifford thought of Mo Bamba as a stretch four at the time, but he was working on his jump shot. So you knew Mo Bamba was going to take time, but you didn't give him an opportunity. Vucevic, you ended up signing, you ended up blowing up the team. They weren't good enough to compete for a championship, but they weren't bad enough to get a top draft pick, if you know what I'm saying. But even though they got destroyed by the Spurs, Suggs struggled, Cole Anthony struggled, a lot of people or players struggled. I thought Wagner played very well when I went back and watched the tape. Some pretty nice flashes by Wendell Carter Jr. as well. But Mo Bamba came to play. So their starting lineup this past game, their backcourt's kind of undersized. So I would like to see Evan Fournier take care of Cole Anthony, really abuse him on the defense side of the basketball, or a Jalen Suggs, even though I know he's a big-time competitor. But their starting lineup, at least last game, was Jalen Suggs, Cole Anthony, Franz Wagner, Mo Bamba, and then you had Wendell Carter Jr. Think about this. Wendell Carter Jr., 2018 NBA draft pick. Mo Bamba, 2018, Wendell Carter Jr., 2018 NBA draft pick. Mo Bamba, 2018 NBA draft pick. Franz Wagner, rookie. Jalen Suggs, rookie. Cole Anthony was a rookie last year. This is a young basketball team. And I think experience is definitely going to play a factor in this game. Tom Thibodeau is going to try to make these guys feel uncomfortable. And something I really noticed with Jalen Suggs is that his handle still needs work. He has a good basketball IQ. I think his shot will start falling. He really struggled shooting the ball last game. But it was interesting how they used him, off the ball at times, sometimes on the ball. That's interesting that they have Cole Anthony and Jalen Suggs out there at the same time, because Cole Anthony is extremely ball dominant. So I'm not sure how that's really going to work out, but I really hope that we could take advantage of them on the defense side of the basketball. Not saying Suggs is a terrible defender or anything like that, but I would like to see Fournier take advantage of one of them like I did mention. But I would like to pressure Jalen Suggs. He struggled with his handle. It was loose at times. We have to make sure that we play the passing lanes well, and we come to play on the defense side of the basketball, and we stop dribble penetration, because Suggs likes to dribble penetrate to the basket. And I think Mitchell Robinson could have a big game. But Mo Bamba actually came off of a very solid performance by the Spurs, even though they actually went on to be dominated by them, of course, in that game. He was one of those bright spots. And when you're a rebuilding team, you're just looking for those little bright spots. You're not looking for the big time wins, because a lot of those aren't going to happen when you're young, when you're just going through growing pains. There's going to be tons of ups, or there's going to be tons of downs and like a little bit of ups, like some flashes. But Mo Bamba is someone that we didn't really face last game. We faced Robert Williams. Yes, he's a big, but he plays the 5. Wendell Carter Jr. plays the 5, but still Mo Bamba could play the 4 or the 5. He's still pretty tall. I believe he's 7 foot, 6'10", 7 foot. He could stretch the floor. He could stretch it outside of the perimeter. So how is Julius Randle going to deal with a guy Mo Bamba? I think Randle will be fine, but Mo Bamba has length. He's gotten stronger. I don't think he'll be able to bully Randle in the post, but he could bring you outside on the perimeter and put the ball on the floor a little bit, and he could block shots. And the Magic, though, do have a couple veterans coming off the bench. They have Michael Carter-Williams. They have Robin Lopez that could look to go do his hook shot as well. They have Terrence Ross, who's a freaking Knicks killer. So don't be surprised if this game is close because of Terrence Ross. Terrence Ross, he's a difficult shot maker. He takes the worst shots ever, but they go in. That's not a knock. Just he's that good. Like, that was kind of an exaggeration, like a joke there. But he just knows how to size up the defense and just be a difficult shot maker. He could dribble, penetrate, pull up from mid-range territory, pull up from the outside, but he kind of is inconsistent. But we're going to have to try to get into these young guys' heads and make them feel very frustrated. And I feel like we're a mentally tough team. I don't think we're going to come in unprepared. I hope the Knicks don't lay an egg here. I just hope we go out there and compete and treat this like any other game. That's just me. I don't care what RJ's stat line is. I don't care what Mitch is. I know a lot of Knicks fans are going to be like, it's the Magic. I want RJ to drop like 40. But no, I just want them to go out, execute the game plan, just really force them to play in the half-court setting, because Jalen Suggs likes to get out and run. Cole Anthony plays with a lot of energy. Mo Bamba's starting to get better when it comes to his game in the half-court setting, but no one's like big time of stretching the floor when it comes to this Magic starting 5, at least so far. It's so young. They're so young, so it's hard to tell. Like, Suggs struggled shooting the ball. Cole Anthony's a streaky shooter. He's a volume guy. Franz Wagner hasn't made a 3 yet in his NBA career, or at least from the top of my head when I was looking at the stats and watching the film. Wendell Carter Jr., he could stretch it out like occasionally, but I wouldn't say he's like a knockdown guy. And Mo Bamba is he might be their best shooter in their starting lineup. But again, until Suggs starts knocking down his shots, he's only played 1 NBA game. You have RJ Hampton, who's like still a project. He's athletic, but still has ways to go when it comes to his decision making. But this season all comes down to, like, do they think Jamal Mosley's the guy? Like, how do they do when they face adversity? Are they going to give up on the coach? Because this is going to be a rough season for Magic fans, but you just have to hope they can develop these guys and you have the right coach. Didn't talk about much when it comes to the Knicks side, because like there's no guy we could just talk about and be like, we have to key in on that guy. I think it is Mo Bamba, but I did mention him because Suggs, there's no big-time scouting report because he's only played 1 game. The same thing with a bunch of these players in the starting lineup, like a Franz Wagner. He does the little things. He competes on defense. He's kind of a glue guy. I don't expect him to be an all-star down the road, but I expect him to be a solid 3-and-D player in this league. So I do think we have to still contest shots outside on the perimeter, even though he hasn't made many 3s yet in his NBA career. But let me know down below your thoughts and analysis, and peace out, y'all.